One of Steam's best features, of course, is the Steam sale. Admittedly, Steam sales aren't what they used to be, but Steam sales still kick the crap out of any sale going on any other launcher or console for the matter. Are you looking to become the ultimate game collector? Or do you want to save a few bucks? You know, there's a reason why so many people on Steam have so many Steam games. That's because there's so many sales on Steam games, in multiple places as well. Let's cyberstalk this guy. Wow, that's a lot of games. Now you may be asking yourself, how is this possible? Well, all things are possible when you have enough money, but during a Steam sale, your money goes further. By the time this video releases, today should be the very first day of the Steam Autumn sale. So this isn't going to be a recommendation to buy specific games on sale, but rather a general guideline on how to buy games on sale. So the very first tip is to just budget yourself out. If you can't afford any games, then so be it, just don't buy any. Gaben probably wouldn't be happy if you went bankrupt trying to buy games off of Steam, you know? So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about how you can buy games for cheaper. On the Steam site, you can look for a special tab called the Specials tab. You can totally do this during a sale, but even when there's no Steam sale going on, you can pull the Specials tab to see if there's any discounts going on. Like in this screenshot, you can get Sea of Thieves for half off. Another thing to note is that sometimes new releases will come with a special 10% off discount. Yeah, it's not a huge discount, but having a discount at all for brand new titles is pretty significant. Now let's talk about the Steam sales themselves. Generally, there are 4 major seasonal sales: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Those 4 seasonal sales tend to be where the best deals are found. Of course, there are various other sales that go on between those sales. Sometimes it's a special theme going on, like a roguelike sale or a JRPG sale. Other times, it's a special festival of games, like the Steam Next Fests. Sometimes you'll find amazing deals during those sales as well. But generally speaking, the best discounts come from the seasonal sales. But of course, this is all just inside of Steam. What about outside of Steam? Let's talk about key sellers. You have 2 different types of key sellers. You have legitimate key sellers and gray market key sellers. Legitimate key sellers are authorized Steam key resellers. When you buy a game from these websites, they'll give you a Steam key that you can redeem on your Steam account. And yes, these are added to your Steam account permanently. And they don't just sell individual Steam keys. They sell whole Steam bundles. Like, look at this. 7 great Capcom games and 1 real stinker. And all of these great games for less than half the price of 1 whole AAA title. Once you start getting into bundles outside of Steam, you'll soon understand why people have thousands of games on their Steam library. Now, what about gray market key sellers? Why are they called gray market key sellers? And what might be the difference between these gray market key sellers and your typical key sellers? Well, it's the whole gray market thing. See, these key gray markets are supposed to be for people that buy up keys and then have some spare keys that they can just sell. Meaning, in theory, you can buy like a humble bundle and then sell some of those keys for those undesirables that you don't want to play. The main problem with these websites are the malicious users that buy up game keys using stolen credit cards, and then they just dump all of these game keys. And then when the person realizes their credit card was stolen, they would obviously file a chargeback. And of course, chargebacks cost money, but not to the users or the credit card companies, but the developers. And of course, buying one of these keys from one of these websites is always a gamble. You never know if these keys were purchased with a stolen credit card or not, because here's the thing. Developers also disable game keys bought with stolen credit cards. Meaning, if you buy one from one of these websites and it turns out to be stolen, you could have your game access revoked. And I mean, it's not like I'm fear-mongering you or anything. It's just something that's known to happen from time to time. Obviously, if you buy one, you're not guaranteed to lose access to your game, but it can happen. So now that we got all of that out of the way, let's talk about how to find the best deals among all of these websites, or at least all the legitimate websites. Probably the most famous website for aggregating deals is isthereanydeal.com. Using isthereanydeal is really simple. All you have to do is search for whatever game you want, and then you go to the games page and you see if there's any deals going on. In the case of this indie game called Unmetal, the lowest current discount is a 68% discount on Green Man Gaming, $6.40. That's a pretty freaking good deal. Is There Any Deal also gives you a historical low price for the game, telling you how low it's ever been. And in the case of this game, This is the lowest it's ever been. There's also another website with a fairly similar feature set, except you can also include gray market key sellers in your search as well, and the website is called gg.deals. I will say the interface does look a lot nicer, but then again, if you're not a fan of gray market key sellers, you may not like the fact that GG Deals occasionally promotes those prices, because even if you disable key resellers, it still gives you the lowest prices from those types of websites. So ultimately, it's up to you. That said, even on reputable websites, it's worth watching out for a couple of things. Here are a couple of things you should watch out for when hunting for a deal. First, you should make sure you're buying Steam keys, because sometimes when you're looking for deals, sometimes you'll come across deals for other storefronts or other launchers. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but given that you probably want to play these on your Steam Deck, it's advised that you just buy the Steam versions of the games instead, you know, if they exist. Another good tip is to know when Steam sales are upcoming. Nothing feels worse than buying a game at full price only for it to go on sale like a week later. And you know, just in case it does happen, you'll want to be familiar with the refund policies of each website. But generally speaking, if you buy a Steam key and you redeem it, you can't refund the game, even if the game sucks ass. However, if you do buy a Steam key and you never claim it, you could potentially get a refund, but I would consult with the company's refund policy. And of course, the refund policies are where Steam has an edge. Buy a game from Steam, play less than 2 hours, and return it within 2 weeks, and you get your money back, guaranteed. If you wish to directly support High Tech Lowlife, you should check out the link in the description below for our Patreon page. And if you like this video, you should give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. And if you want, you can also join my Discord server. As always, links in the description down below for all of this.